All right, what is up everyone? My name is Nick, and last week I posted this flyer right here in the Facebook group and on Instagram. We had people RSVP to sign up to try out the new 512 for a night. I also want to thank Ristretto and CYC Motors for sponsoring this event. So if you want to be a part of this, make sure that you join our Facebook group and follow us on Instagram to be notified when we're hosting our next event. But also, these spots are pretty limited, so if you would like to join, make sure you go do that. Let's get to it.
I was on the 512, the Ristretto 512 today. It was great. It handled really well. Coming off a motorcycle, the torque and the power is pretty insane, pretty exhilarating. And we were getting up there. We were probably touching 30, 35 miles an hour here and there. And I looked down, I think after the ride, we rode for a couple hours. It still had over 80% battery left. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
To finish off the last segment of this video, I do want to answer some of the questions that you guys asked in the last video. If you haven't seen the last video, I actually released a full in-depth review of the 512 where you can watch it right here, or if you click down below in the description, you can give it a watch. So let's hop into it. So for the first question, Quantum FX asked, with the tire difference with the two bikes, is there also a difference in speed? Or are they tuned to match speeds with different tire sizes? Yes, so in my last video, I covered the specs of both the A20 and A24 to show you guys that there is pretty much no difference in performance of the bikes, but I have noticed that with the A20, you will have a bit more of a torquey acceleration due to the tire size and weight of the bike. So yeah, pretty much no difference, just a little bit more torquiness in the A20. So for the next question, ScottyMan99 asked, is there an option to just use throttle without having to ghost pedal? Yes, there is. If you have the bike on and you use the throttle, your pedals will not move. So when you're riding the bike, you can have the pedals in pretty much any position that you want or wherever it's comfortable, and you won't have to pedal while riding the bike. But if the bike is off and you're just pushing it, yes, you're gonna get that pedal movement. So that's why you notice when I'm pushing the bike like normal, you're gonna get some pedal movement, but when the bike is on and you're throttling it, you're not gonna get any of that movement. So that's the reason. The next question, Daniel Briner asks, can you activate race mode on the bike itself without using the app? If you power the bike off, does it remember what mode you were in last? So yes, you can actually activate race mode within the menu itself. So you have two different options when you want to activate race mode. It's either within the app or it's on the onboard menu with the 512. So the next question, Lolo asks, how does it do climbing hills? Could you compare it at all to the Aerial Rider Grizzly? So me personally, I have never ridden the Aerial Rider Grizzly, so I can't really touch on that bike. But with the climbing of the hills, I tested this out at full battery and I got minimal power loss. You know, the max speed is 40 and I was probably going like 35, 36 miles. So when you're riding these things up a pretty steep hill, if you have full battery, you're not going to get any power loss. If you have low battery, I haven't personally tested it, but I assume it's not going to be much of a power loss because these are insanely powerful bikes. So you shouldn't have any problem climbing hills. So the next question, Ashcam asked, what's the fastest speed you hit on flat ground and throttle only? So when I was testing the bikes out, I personally hit about 43 to 42 miles an hour on full battery, and it seemed like it had no problem going over that, but you do have a limiter. So when you get your 512, you should have no problem going 40 miles. So the next question, Quantum FX asked, how tall are you? I see that there is no way to adjust the height. What is the height limit on these? So I'm actually 6 foot, so the A20 and the A24 fit me relatively nice. But for the A20, I'd probably recommend someone that's about 5'6" to about, 6, maybe 6'1" at the most. And then for the A24, maybe 5'11" at the least, and then up to like 6'5", 6'6" at the complete most. If you're around my height, like 6 foot, you're not gonna have a problem with either bikes. You should be able to put your feet on the ground. So depending on if you're taller or shorter than me, I would go with those relative sizes. The next question, Varden Fitness asked, do the turn signals really make the ticking sound? So yes, Ristretto actually offers a very distinct and unique ticking sound for the turn signals, the horn, and the power on switch. So to me, it sounds like kind of like a futuristic ticking sound. Some people like it, some people don't, but I really enjoy it. I think it's very nice and very subtle, but yes, these do actually come on the bike. All right, so that wraps up the questions. Like, comment, and subscribe, as this helps us bring more videos of the 512 out to you all and make more enjoyable videos. I'll see you in the next one.